everybody, it's Rox and I'm coming to you today with the review for Basketball Wives episode number 8. So let's get to it. Alright you guys, not too much to say about Evelyn and this new girl Nia, or Naya. They just had to find a way to introduce her into the storyline. So basically, Nia was a friend of Jen's, and they met each other back when Jen was getting married to Eric. And, when Jen went through her divorce, this Nia girl was on the chopping block along with a bunch of other friends when, Jen went out and had the nerve to find herself some new friends. For real, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of hearing about Jen and her new damn friends. Like, fuck. Do I have to spend all of my waking days with you, Evelyn, and your friends, the people that you feel that I should be friends with? What is wrong? I'm tired of hearing about Jen's new friends. It just screams out that I am jealous of you, Jen, and your new friends, and because of that, I am going to lash out at you every minute and every chance that I get, instead of being mature enough to tell you that I miss our friendship and I'm, hurt that you said those things about my relationship, and it makes me sad and upset that, you've moved on with other people. Like, she can't just say that. Instead, she's got to be fighting her every fucking time she sees her. What I had already heard originally was that this Nia girl was actually Jen's really good friend and was a personal assistant of hers or something like that. And, when she went through the divorce, then she switched over onto Evelyn's team. So, it's always this side, that side, and the truth. So somewhere in the middle of that, this girl was either friends with Jen or friends with Evelyn and has decided to, choose sides. So they had to figure out a way to put Nia into the storyline, and since we now know who Nia is, she is the one that is gonna slap the fire out of Jen next week. So y'all stay tuned for confrontation number 6. All right. So Susie is trying to get Royce and Jen back friends again, and for the first time in my life, you guys, I agree with Susie. Can you believe it? I think that Susie's right. Jen and Royce have not been friends for a long time, and it's really been, in my view, for the whole time, I felt like it was a misunderstanding. And, like Susie said, enough time has passed, enough things have happened, we didn't distance ourselves enough from each other where maybe we can see a little bit more clearly now. So maybe it's time for you guys to really try to mend this friendship. And, I remember from the first season, Royce and Jen was cool, and, it just went real south real fast. Right when Jen was about to start breaking up with Eric. Jen is not really sure about it, and I think it's probably because she's afraid that Royce is going to be coming with, guns ablaze or something. But, Royce is really over that. Like, she has, basically told Jen plenty of times that she doesn't have a problem with her, and her problem was always with Evelyn, and that, that Jen was basically just following Evelyn's lead. After getting Jen and Royce to agree to meet, they do just that. So Susie, Jen, and Royce get together, just for like a little midday drink or something. And everybody's got attitude. Like, Jen is staring Royce down. Royce is staring Jen down. One thing, though, Jen had on sunglasses, Royce didn't. I always think that people that wear sunglasses in confrontations like that have something to hide, or, are afraid. That's like their shield. So I felt like Royce didn't have anything to hide. Royce was there to get the shit clear. So after we have like this little minor stare down, Royce starts off and just says, Jen, you were really mean to me. And, Jen, she's just like, listen, I was real upset with you for meeting with Eric about, you guys trying to get this movie thing off the ground. And Royce was like, but Jen, I tried to talk to you about that. You ran away from me, and I wasn't ever able to talk to you about it. And then, Jen was like, and then I was mad about the whole thing with the pictures of me, my naked pictures on Twitter. Now, you guys, this is the thing. Royce has always said that she never said all the things that Evelyn said that she said on Twitter. And Jen never saw what supposedly Royce said. She was always going by what Evelyn said. And, she basically was coerced into feeling like Royce was doing something against her when, you know, probably she wasn't. And Royce has told her that plenty of times. I never said anything on Twitter. What do you think I said? What did you see me say? And Jen could never say, you know, and Jen would always be like, well, what am I going to do? Like, what am I not going to believe my friend? Like, I know that Evelyn has my back and, you know, all this having your back shit. No, you need to see what was said before you jump to these type of conclusions. So, you know, Royce once again said, I never said anything on Twitter. And at first I thought that Jen was going to, you know, try to hide behind what she had heard was said from Evelyn, but she didn't. You know, she took the high road and she actually apologized. Like, you know, I didn't see what supposedly you had said, and you know, I was wrong in that, so you know, I'll apologize. You guys, that was such a large step in my eyes for Jen, because you know, when you can admit that you're wrong, to me that's like you're trying to step forward and correcting, you know, past wrongs. You're trying to become a better person, and a lot of times it's a huge burden that's lifted off your shoulders when you can just say, I was wrong and I'm sorry. So I was happy for Jen. Now I think that Royce was a little happier about that apology than she thought she would be. And you know, she had that, she was trying to hold back the tears, y'all. I could see them eyes was real glassy, and I was like, no, 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 Royce, don't you start crying. Y'all remember when Royce got to crying with that daddy, when the daddy was telling her about the man that she shouldn't be seeing, the type of men that she was seeing, and she got that real crazy, like frantic cry on her face. She was just like, I'm trying to be, I really want to be happy. I was like, girl, hold that shit together. Don't you start that crying. Not today. Don't do that shit today, Royce. I'm going to need for you to keep that shit together. Now, I was watching Mr. Still Standing's video yesterday. Hey, Scotty. You know, he was all over Jen for apologizing to Royce now that Evelyn and Jen aren't friends, and that's true. You know, she did apologize. It did take something like this for the you know, something like this to happen before she could realize that she was wrong. But you know, that's what happens a lot of times. The wall is so high in front of you that you cannot see around it until it is knocked down or knocked away. So and once the wall is removed, then you can see shit for what it is instead of trying to jump over it to see what's going on or looking around it and everything. It's right there in front of your eyes. And she couldn't say anything but sorry. So maybe it did take her breaking off her relationship with Evelyn for her to see right and wrong. And I still don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Remember I said that I was fully aware of the saying that when you know better, you do better? Well, I think Jen's aware of it too now. Okay, you guys, so the show started where it ended last week, which was at the restaurant in the wine cellar where Evelyn had threw the bottle and the plate over at Kenya. Now, we ain't even going to get into all of that because we already know what happened. What I want to talk about is how pissed off Shawnee was at the fact that that shit went over her head. Shawnee was like, do you realize how close that was to my head? Like, nah, bitch, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do and show your ass as much as you want, but I need you to remember who the fucking boss is up in here. Like, you don't let your fucking hands write you a check that your ass can't cash, okay? I will fire every motherfucker up in this place. Don't let that shit happen again, Evelyn. You know, and all throughout the show, they kind of meet up. Evelyn, Shawnee, and Tammy meet up, you know, periodically throughout the show. And Shawnee just can't get over that shit. Like, bitch, you for real lost your mind. I thought the shit was funny when Tammy was just like, all I know is if one of them damn bottles would have hit me at Evelyn, that had her fucking wig pushed back. And wouldn't y'all have liked to see that fight? I sure would like to see Tammy just drag Evelyn around, just a quick switch around like that. We wouldn't have been expecting nothing like that. Because of all of this drinking and fighting that they doing, I guess they done got so stressed out that they need them a trip to Tahiti. Everybody's going. You know, Shawnee says that she's going to invite Jen, and I thought it was interesting that nobody brought up Royce. It's like Shawnee, in Shawnee's world, Royce don't even exist. I was hoping that Tammy would have mentioned Royce because I know that Tammy and Royce supposed to be girls, but like she did when they was going to Italy. But she didn't bring it up. So it looks like everybody's going to Tahiti now. Evelyn says that she's going to behave. We know that Miss ADD don't know the meaning of behavior. But I was thinking to myself, fighting and then drinking and fighting, and then get a trip to Tahiti. I've been doing this shit all wrong. All wrong, y'all. So Tammy is talking to her mom. It's going to be continued on next week, so we're just going to touch on it this week. But Tammy's talking to her mom about the fact that she's been sexually abused when she was younger, and she kind of blamed her mom, and this is the reason why she's so mad and mean and hard and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Two ways I feel about this. Like, I know that people have things happen to them. I've had things happen to me in the past as a young girl that can mark you and, you know, kind of alter your path. I mean, many of us have had things happen to us when we were younger. And I do know that people act out in whichever ways they're going to act out. I want to know for sure that this is really genuinely Tammy saying that she's trying to change herself and not using it as a crutch or as an excuse, but cutting the fool that she usually does. Like, you know, always wanting to hit somebody, always wanting to act out. I mean, I'm going to think that she's not just trying to play on our emotions about that, because, you know, like, when shit happens to you, as you grow older and you become more in control of your life, at some point you have got to make the decision, like, okay, this shit happened to me in the past. I'm going to really work on getting over it. I am going to make myself a better person. I'm going to get therapeutic help or whatever it is that I need to do to change my situation. And it looks like that's what Tammy is trying to do. But I'm telling you, I don't want to hear about this. If the bitch is still going to keep acting the way she acts, then what is the purpose of all of this? I only have sympathy for people when they're trying to truly make a change, is when I can see it, when it's evidence to me. And to me, if you still acting the same way, then what the fuck? I mean, I can't feel sorry for somebody that just gonna keep on continuously acting a goddamn fool. So I don't know. Maybe Tammy is in the middle of it. Maybe this is the beginning. Maybe she's starting her struggle of, you know, self-awareness and changing and all of that. We gonna see. I'm not gonna be negative on it, and we're gonna talk about it more next week. But, you know, maybe Tammy is working on her life. But, you know, Tammy is mean. Tammy is mean to people that she doesn't consider her friends. She doesn't have regard for people's feelings. She's entitled. She feels like everybody should, you know, do what she says. And, you know, I don't really know where that comes from. But, yeah, we just gonna hope that Tammy is working on her life. What is wrong with Kenya? What is wrong with Kenya? Okay, now we ain't fixing to be having no whole long thing about Kenya today, because I just don't understand what is wrong with her. She's having this damn video viewing of the song that she did, you know, all the shit that started this mess with her and Keisha and, you know, the dancers and the help and blah, blah, blah. So she's having a video screening, and she asked Jen if she thinks that she should invite all of the girls, and Jen tells her, yeah, everybody's mature enough. Ain't nobody fucking mature on this goddamn show. To make a long story short, you guys, she has this video viewing and all the girls are there, of course minus Evelyn, but you know, Tammy is there, Susie is there, Jen is there, Keisha's there, Royce is there, Shauna's there. I said Shauna, not Shawnee, Shauna. And if you guys can remember correctly, Shauna is one of the girls from the Diva Glam squad that Tammy has. And y'all, you know, Tammy, listen, Shauna might know what she's talking about. I don't know. But all I know is Shauna looked like fucking Nipsey Russell with a goddamn wig on. I didn't see the diva. I didn't see the glam. I didn't see the fabulousness of her. I was just like, oh, now you trying to give advice to this girl? You just a fucking one step away from busting your goddamn self. Listen, I can't today, y'all. Like I said, that child might know exactly what she's talking about, but you're gonna need to look a little different. I mean, you ain't even got to look different in the face, but your whole put together gotta be really different than the way you presented yourself for me to think that you know what the fuck you talking about. You know, she telling her that she thinks that she's Jen and she thinks that she's Tammy and Evelyn, and I was thinking to myself, like, where the fuck do you get off telling her this? Like, you ain't even on the goddamn show. How do you know all of this? I mean, I know they told her, but still, it was just like, girl, go sit down some fucking where. And once again, the girl might know what she's talking about. But to me, she is very mean, super critical. And there's a way that you can talk to people. There's a way that you can tell somebody that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Because, you know, from what I saw, the video was not that good. You know, they did tell her that she has a good voice. That was the one only good thing that they said. But everything else, they jumped all over her. And that was a tear down session. That was a beat up Kenya session. That Shauna girl was just a meaner version of Tammy. And, you know, she's hiding behind the fact that she is the owner of this. What do they do? They make over people? Like, what does this Diva Glam Squad do exactly? Like, I don't really understand. Like, what? Oh, you guys. I mean, talk about cutting a bitch off at the knees, right? I mean, it was like Nancy Kerrigan all over the place. And then that goddamn Kenya just sat there and smiled. I mean, just took it. I mean, took it up the ass, y'all. I don't know who I was madder at. I don't know if I was madder at them girls for being so mean and rude to her, or if I was mad at her for inviting them in the first place. Like, god damn, I know you got to do what you got to do for the show, but you couldn't invite none of your homegirls, none of your friends. You had not one person that could speak up for you. Alright, you guys, so that's it. You guys remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It's Rox. My channel is for It's Rox, and everything else that I am involved in will be in the bottom bar below. Alright? Alright! I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.